Okay, what we have here is Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. Okay, now listen, if there will ever be a movie or a TV show adaptation of this book, it has to be filmed from beginning to end with in a crimson, dark red, scarlet hue from beginning to end. It's a red mist that has to be present here for this to work. Okay, the adaptation has to be bloody. What we have here isn't just some novel. This isn't just some little cute little story here. Okay. Now listen, the way this is written, um, it was a bit hard for me to uh, maintain the attention sometimes. But that I don't fault the writing per se. It's just after a while you kind of get, listen, I get what's happening here, but something needs to change. Okay, you can't have this story be this way from beginning to end, in my opinion. But of course, this story has to be exactly the way it is for it to work, right? Um, this is some crazy stuff here. In terms of the characters, right? We have a decent amount of characters, but to me, they don't stand out, and that is for a reason. Nobody really stands out except maybe the kid and the judge, right? Those two kind of are a bit different from the rest, but I think that is intentional because what we have here is a bunch of people, okay, a bunch of people that go around, you know, basically engaging in slaughter after slaughter. That's the whole book, essentially, right? And when I read this, I just picture this. You know how in Breaking Bad, they used to use that yellow orange hue, that filter. Right? When I read this, I imagine a red, a dark red atmosphere. You know, a sort of fog. You know, and the characters are just these dark silhouettes, just basically killing one another for whatever reason. Right? Whatever reason, there is no real reason. These people just go from massacre to massacre, and it's just, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing with your life, right? And essentially this book is what I like to call the definition of human history, which is a series of massacres. Okay, that is human history, pure and simple. Human history is just one slaughter, one massacre, one genocide, one killing spree after the other. That is essentially what people do. That's it. Okay, you can't tell me any different. Okay. The story per se is, like I said, from time to time, I get what the author was trying to do here. I get that, but after a while, it kind of becomes a bit not repetitious or boring. It's just well, how do I put it? It's a bit tiring, you understand me? A bit tiring because not a lot of else happens in this except we're gonna go kill some people, right? And then other people are gonna come and kill us, and it's just this constant struggle against. This is essentially kill or be killed, bro. And it's just so. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just so despairing, so gloomy. So this is doom. Okay, this is doom. This is man at his worst, almost. You know, while I was reading this, chapter by chapter, I was like, what are these people doing in this land, in this engaging in this senseless, mindless, meaningless a barbaric brutality, right? 'Cause these people have fun doing what they do, of course. Why wouldn't they? Because this is human nature. This is the human condition, right? And they live by it, they are born in it, and they continue the cycle, and they end the same way they started out, okay? Whatever they do to their enemies, the alleged enemies, the enemies are gonna do to them eventually, and that is basically what this book is about. This is mankind stripped bare. Okay, this is mankind naked. This is the human condition in its purity, right? For no reason other than just because this is what people are when you strip all of the pretenses and the facade and the charades. This is what people do essentially. This is history. This is the human condition, pure and simple. And it is dark. It is hard to stomach at times, right? Because there are no sides here. You cannot choose one or the other. This is just a bunch of people coming together for whatever reason and just commencing on this crusade, this crusade without a motive, without a goal. And the end result is just death. It's death, and that's it, right? This is blood meridian, all right? We are on the vein, on the heartbeat, on the pulse of slaughter and mayhem and chaos and entropy, right? We have no heroes here. There are no victims, okay? We just have a lot of monsters and a lot of beasts that just, they think they're doing essentially good work for their, I don't know, nation, for their representatives, for their beliefs, But if you dissect this to its basic foundation, you can't support these people and what they do, right? It's simple. It's just a crusade. This is some. This is not even a holy war we're dealing with here. This is just killing for the sake of killing. When they start doing what they do, when they're in that mindset, something takes over, a darkness, a monster takes over, and man becomes essentially what he was meant to be, which is a monster, essentially, right? When they start killing, there is no more belief system, no ideology, no something. There's nothing to protect anymore. They are drunk on this sense of power. They're drunk on the exhilaration of mayhem, right, and violence. It is hard to read sometimes what happens in here. Is just This is essentially history. Any chapter in history you read or you check out, this book embodies in one way or the other. Okay, and the story, that's essentially what the story is from beginning to end. These groups of people just going from one genocide to the other, and then in the end, only a couple of them make it out, barely, right? Because in the end, listen, from my experience, karma exists. It is in operation, which means that whatever you do, in the end, you're gonna get yours. You're right. What you dish out is what you get in the end. Basically, if you put out garbage, right, you're gonna get garbage. If you engage in insanity and madness, you're gonna get that in the end. You're gonna have a horrible death, and that is what I have learned from my experiences, from my life, and checking out history and whatnot. There are no winners, no victims. All we have here is just a bunch of losers who think that you know they have certain convictions and principles, but in the end, when they engage and they start this insane circus of just killing for no reason, They are reverted to basic primitive creatures, right? Even lower than animals, because even animals, they have their little scuffles. They kill to eat to survive, but they don't engage in this continuous dance of just killing for no reason, of just wasting your life on this massacre. Right? This is a massacre after massacre. Right? This is the human condition. This is unique in nature. No other creature on this planet does what human beings do. And listen, this is the truth here, right? Um, and then we have the two characters that I mentioned, which is the kid and the judge. Now, first the kid. The kid is strange. He's not that well developed. He's in times one-dimensional. He doesn't have what you might call a harsh life, a horrible upbringing, but he's just there, and so he joins these people as a kid, mind you, and he loves it immediately. He's good at it. He has a prowess. He has an excellence. He is phenomenal at killing. For some reason, he is young, you know, a greenhorn, but he keeps up with the adults. Okay, and that is suspicious. That is questionable. Why this kid is so in tune, if you want, with murder on a mass scale, right? Um, and then we have the judge. Okay, now he stands out. He is peculiar. He is weird. He is eerie. He is bizarre. Um, I just can't put my finger on him. What really drives him? What he's all about, right? The judge is a hairless albino. He is tall. He is intellectual at times. He is a wild card. You can't just really put him in a category and just be done with him. Because listen, he has some quotes here and there that just catch you off guard. They catch you off guard, and you're like, what? What is this dude saying right now? Right? He is. He is something else, something to behold, the judge. I checked out some analyses, and some say maybe he is the devil, you know. He's a sort of philosopher at times, he's an archaeologist other times, a poet maybe. They call him the judge for some reason. Of course, he is not objective in his beliefs and so on. But he is interesting. Okay, he stands out. He's different. He's special from the others. The others are just, in a way, mindless bodies, just bumping into each other in the dark, right? But he is. He seems to me like he is above it all. He is not really affected in any way, but about by what happens to them, to their group, right? He just moves on. He goes his own way, and if it means just engaging in this slaughter after slaughter for no reason, then fine. He is okay with that. He doesn't mind. Um, yeah, he is something else. And then we have what really puzzled me. Okay, what really puzzled me. The kid and the judge make it. I forgot if other characters make it in the end, but the kid and the judge, they make it out in the end. And listen, the ending is it's good. It's good, but it is that type of ending that just baffles the mind. What really happens, because we don't have a lot of details. Basically, we have the kid. He is all grown up now. He is an adult. He has a lot of problems. Okay, he is affected by what happened to him in his childhood while he was with these groups of murderers, right? But now he's an adult. He's not a kid anymore, and he sits at a bar, yada yada, and then he goes to the privy, the outdoor privy, right? And while he's in there, for some reason, the judge appears, right? He goes in with them in the privy. And listen, the judge is unchanged. He is exactly the same. Bald, hairless, pale, tall. He is unchanged. He is the same. And listen, it's so subtle, and vague and ambiguous that you don't really can tell what really happens in the end, right? What is certain is that the judge does something to the kid. Now, I don't know what really happens. I can speculate, but I just don't know. And others have said either the judge just kills the kid, and then some people come along and they discover the kid and they're appalled by what they see. It is a horrible scene. And some say that, the judge killed the kid, but at the same time, he also molested, the body in a horrendous way, right? The body is disfigured, and I kind of lean toward that theory, because the people that come to use the privy, they stumble upon the kid. Obviously he's dead, but death is death. Sudden death is an inexplicable death is a status quo there. It's the norm. There's nothing out of the usual of stumbling upon a body, right? But they find the kid's body, right, in the privy, but they're shocked, they're appalled, they take a couple of steps back and they're just dumbstruck by what they see. They're terrorized and traumatized by what they see. So my question is, because the author doesn't really give us any details, right? What happened to the kid? What did the judge do? Okay, that scene in the end is haunting to me because you don't really know what happened. What really happened? Did he rape the body? Did he rape the body while the kid was alive? Was there some serious disfigurement going on? I mean, it had to be something horrible, bro. I mean, just absolutely horrendous to behold, because the people there, they are seasoned killers, right? They know what death is, right? But at the same time, they are shocked by what they see in the privy. So my question is, what really happened? What did they really see? What did the judge do? Is he the devil, just having a bit of fun here and there? Maybe did he take the kid's soul in the end? Who knows? Did he devour the kid's soul? I don't know. This book is something else by itself, but the ending makes it special. The ending uh, takes this to another level. This is a different caliber of literature. Okay, and listen, this entire book, and others have said this. This entire book is just a poem, an ode, a hymn to the human condition, which is absolute, complete, and utter slaughter, mayhem, massacre, genocide, whatever you want to call it, right? It is a melody that acts as a sort of cheerleader for this type of cruelty that's going on here, brutality in its purest form, right? That's the entire book. In essence, it is just one long poem of murder after murder, senseless, pointless, for no reason. Just then, I don't know, just because it's fun, maybe, right? And let me tell you, this is something you have to read multiple times. Okay, it will leave an impression on you. Because listen, whatever your opinions about this book is, listen, this happened in history. Every age, every generation, this happened. Mike, when people ask me, why am I so down all the time? Listen, I know how we got here. I know how civilization came to be. Okay, it wasn't just our predecessors going around, discovering stuff, building stuff. Listen, they went to other people's lands and they just start cutting heads and raping and pillaging and burning things to the ground. That's how we arrived here. That is the foundation of every civilization, of every nation, right? Of every people. Point and simple. That is our inheritance. That is our history. That is our tradition and our custom. Okay, and you can't tell me any different. That's how we arrived here. Because our forefathers, they were up to some crazy shit back in the day. And you can say, well, the times were different. They were harsh times, and you had to be stern. You had to be a monster in a way to survive and to procreate, right? You had to be not human. You had to be inhuman. And that's partly the reason why we're all here, because and some people might not accept this or admit it, right? But listen, the only reason we're here, why our existence is possible, is because our forefathers, they had to do some unspeakable crimes to survive, right? To keep the bloodline going, right? That is why we're here. We are the children of history, which is a never-ending series of murders on a grand scale. Okay, we are the children of murderers. You cannot tell me any different. Okay, and that's basically it. Blood Meridian, Cormac McCarthy. This is a special book. You have to read it multiple times. It is haunting. This book is a demon, a devil, a monster. Okay, this is something else. You have to read it. You have to read it because this shows clearly what mankind is all about. Okay, this book shows that, and that's about it. Keep on reading.